When you think of the Skoda as a brand, you always miss out one type of car in its range. This used to be the Skoda Rapide, but now it is this car, the Scala. Well, for the people who don't know about it, it is a Golf and Seat Leon rival, and for people who do know about it, it has just been given a facelift. Let's have a look to see if this is the best option to have over its German rivals, but also its French rivals, the Peugeot 308 and Vauxhall Astra. Let's go. Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Cars and More. This is the #1 place to be for car news and reviews. Sit back, buckle up, let's go. So, let's start with the front of the Scala, and to start off with, we get a completely different design to what we are used to. The grille is slightly bigger than before, and it also has a more rounded shape. It looks very similar in fact to the new Skoda Fabia grille. We also get a new set of LED matrix headlights with a new daytime running light graphic in them that makes this car look more sportier. The bumper is also new with a lot more sharp creases in it, and we also get a new speckled central air vent, and connected to this is a new set of much bigger side vents, again with sharper creases in them. Overall, the design is much bolder than before and more memorable than the less straight and boring lines that it had before. It actually looks interesting to look at for once. Moving around to the side, and there aren't that many changes to talk about. But what I do want to mention though is the swoopy design that makes this car stand out over its rivals. We do get some sharp creases now, as well as some chrome, which manufacturers are moving away from these days. We also get some new wheel options too. This makes the car look a lot more premium than before. Moving around to the back, and we do actually get some big changes here. We get a new set of taillights with a new design language in them, like what we have seen on the new Skoda Superb and the upcoming Skoda Octavia. It is separated in different places, so it looks like the boot opening is hidden at night. This is a clever design trick right there. We also get the new Skoda lettering too, which is a lot cleaner and makes the car look a lot more modern than before. We also get a new rear bumper design that continues with the sharp creases, but it also has a more clean layout, looking more minimalistic than before. What I do also like is the interesting rear hatch door opening, where the glass stretches down to the lower part of the taillights, hiding the rear window. Overall then, this is a good design and good improvements over the pre-facelift model. Let's have a look to see what engine options you can have with the new Skoda Scala facelift. So, the engines in the Skoda Scala facelift are very easy to remember. There are 3 petrol engines and that's it. There is no diesel or plug-in hybrid option, and this is to keep the costs for the car as low as possible. The first of the petrol engines is a 1 litre engine. This has 94 brake horsepower and it can do 0 to 62 in 10.9 seconds. This can only be had with a 5-speed manual gearbox though. The next engine is the same 1 litre turbo engine, but it has more power this time and it has been increased to 114 brake horsepower. This can be had with a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed automatic DSG gearbox. This also reduces the 0 to 62 time from 10.9 seconds to 9.8 seconds. Finally, the last version is the Volkswagen Group's 1.5 litre engine. This has 148 brake horsepower and a 0 to 62 time of just 8.2 seconds. Again, this can be had with a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed DSG gearbox. Personally, out of all of those options, I would choose the mid-range 1 litre 114 brake horsepower engine, as it is almost as quick as the most powerful option, but it is a lot more affordable to run as it is very economical. Also, the company car tax is better too, and the overall price of the car will be much lower. Talking of price, the new Skoda Scala facelift starts at £22,095, which is actually very close to the Volkswagen Pro low price at £20,965. For comparison, the Volkswagen Golf starts at £26,495. That's impressive from Skoda. Let's have a look at the interior. So, climbing inside the new Skoda Scala, and to be honest, you won't actually notice any big changes over the pre-facelift model, but there are a few to talk about. Throughout the whole range, you now get a digital instrument cluster as standard. The USB ports have also been upgraded from USB-A to USB-C, and there is also now a USB-C port mounted near the rear view mirror for a dash cam. This is so you don't have to mount cables everywhere which will look untidy. You also now get gesture control for the infotainment system. And talking for the infotainment system, I would have liked a newer version based on the Volkswagen MIB4 platform, but that might have been pushing it a bit. This infotainment system that you do get now is great and simple to use, and is just like any other MIB2 and MIB3 software that we have found on the previous generation of Volkswagens. Now, because we haven't got the MIB4 software, it does mean we do get physical climate control buttons. They are very easy to use and very easy to see too. We do get a few more physical buttons just below the gear shifter too, as well as some nice materials and some very comfy front seats. They also feel very premium, and if you ask me, they are better than the Volkswagen Golf version of seats. You also get a manual handbrake too, which is rare to find in this type of car nowadays. Finally, the front passenger seat also has ISOFIX points. Let's have a look at the rear seats. So, getting into the rear seats and practicality isn't that bad. For a 6-foot person, legroom is okay and headroom is decent, even if you go for the full-length glass roof. You also get your own air vents as well as rear heated seats and USB-C ports. There is also a partition thing on the floor which does add more storage, but this can be removed so you can get 3 people in the back. And if you do get 3 people in the back, it isn't that bad. Finally, there is also an armrest. Let's have a look at the boot. So, this is where the Skoda trademarks comes into play. Every Skoda has a class-leading boot size. The Fabia is actually bigger than the Golf, and the Superb is bigger than any of its rivals in its class. Opening the boot to the Scala, and there is no surprise that it has a class-leading size of 467 litres with the seats up. Just for comparison, the Golf has 380 litres and the Leon has 380 litres, with the Astra having 422 litres. With the seats down, you get 1,410 litres. Again, this is class leading over those models. To be honest, this has got to be one of the best practical cars around in this class. So, what do I think of the new Skoda Scala then? Well, personally, I think it is actually an underrated gem of a car. It is stylish, premium, and very good value for money. Don't forget, it is also a very practical car too. If you want a practical car that is affordable and good looking, then this is really the best one to go for, as it is good in every department over its rivals. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.